We're not. We're just doing it one time through, unless 11 people show up. If 11 people come on, then I gotta play the song again. We're gonna do a short show tonight. Mr. Gary Lambert, One More Saturday Night, will be here in a couple minutes, but I just wanted to say hello. I wanted to just get on here and make this, what am I trying to say? I do this show every day, 7 days, 7 nights, 14 times a week, right here on Facebook. And then it miraculously, thank you to William D. Lindemann, shows up on YouTube. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So I'm just posting a little info right here, right now. Who's here? 11:11 with Jenna and Gary Lambert. Gary Lambert. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. There you are. Whatever that means. And now I'm going to edit the privacy. And how fun this morning with Jeff and Layla and Wes and Lisa and the coffee pot. I think they ended up getting the one. I think they were going to check out the one that Armando suggested. I'm editing the privacy. It's public. We are now public. We are now here tomorrow morning. Hey, Alex Martinez will be here tomorrow night. Hey. Poetry Glam. That's right. Get your poems together because tomorrow night is Poetry Glam. I know, I'm excited. And then Monday morning, Monday morning we meander, and Monday night we meditate. Tuesday, Patty Loman in the morning. Tuesday night, Dr. Andrew Rader. Wednesday morning we walk. Might be kind of cold to walk. And Wednesday night is community night. And then we just keep going from there. But Tuesday, November 23rd. Not next Tuesday, but the following Tuesday. It is 1,001. It's this. It's 1,100. Oops. 1,111 shows on 11:11 with Jenna. I will start at 11:11 a.m. and I will end probably after midnight that night. So I would love for you to be a guest. I would love for you to come on. I would love for you to tell your friends to watch the show. At least tell 11 of them. And let's get this party started. Ladies and gentlemen, let me just see who's here as in ladies and gentlemen. Patty Loman, Mama Grace, Julie Luce, William D., and others who are thee. I have no idea, but I'm glad there's 10 of you. And if I sit here just a minute more, it might go to 11 or for the score. Hi, Salia. Hey, Salia, with my girls. Eric, I know, crazy, right? I was just trying to keep it here. Julianne Smith, hello. Hi, everybody. So yes, Tuesday, November 23rd, 1,111 shows. Tell your friends. It's going to be fun. I have no idea what we're going to do. I do know that whenever a guest comes on, I need a joke. Hey, Carl Hess. I'm asking that you tell a joke because jokes are really funny most of the time. And I think we could have a good, because I thought about having a joke hour on the show, but that would be fun. I'm afraid that, yay, come be my guest. That would be so cool. I always thank you for your telephone. Can I use your phone, please? When I lived in Mexico, there it is before inviting. time, we can have you on the show because you Zoom, just like what we're going to do right now. I'm in one place and Gary Lambert's in another place. Ladies and gentlemen. One more Saturday night with Mr. Gary Lambert. Gary Lambert. Gary Lambert. Gary Lambert. Hello, hello, hello. Hi there. Ooh, unmute, unmute, unmute thyself. Get this. Sorry, I'm not gonna say it.
I thought I unmuted, but I didn't. I pushed the thing to turn my video on rather than my little habit.
There's a lot.
Too many things to push.
There are many things to push, many buttons to push in this lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a nice cozy sweater.
It's a nice cozy sweater, Uniqlo sweater.
Oh, Uniqlo, fancy.
I like Uniqlo.
I have a vest from there.
Yeah, I have numerous Uniqlo items.
Really? How did you get turned on to Uniqlo?
They opened a store on Fifth Avenue in New York, and
you're near there often.
Yeah, it's right, right up the street from where I work. So, or worked. Maybe I'll work there again someday. I don't know. Yeah. But kind of right in that Rockefeller Center. It's just up the block from the Museum of Modern Art. So it's a neighborhood I'm in a lot. And they opened the store, and I'd heard about Uniqlo before. And I went in and I said, this place has great stuff and it's reasonably priced.
Right. Super.
And it's kind of real stuff. It's not all fashion victim-y,
Yeah, it's good quality.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you'll have that sweater.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm getting a little tired today. I'm glad we're doing a shorter one because
short show. Because I need to go do it. I got to go get a hit of In the Dark. Is that what it was called? In the Dark. I'm in the middle of.
That In the Dark.
Binge.
Yeah. Well, cool.
Yeah. And Grace is like, are we going to watch some In the Dark tonight? I go, yeah, but we can't stay up till 4 a.m. watching it.
Yeah, I've been known to do that when I'm binging.
Yeah. What have you been watching? Anything fun?
I've been watching Succession, but you can't binge it. You watch it in real time each week, and that's fine. New one tomorrow, so it's getting really interesting.
Is that on HBO?
Yeah.
Okay. So we can do that, Gracie. We can watch Succession.
Yes.
I'm excited. Speaking of HBO, I can't wait. I'm a Sex and the City girl. I was in the city when
that's
that
right.
was all happening. So
Yeah.
Sarah Jessica Parker on December 9th. We'll be having. What night is that? I don't even remember. December 9th is a Thursday. So yeah. I wish it was Sunday nights. That was always fun on Sundays.
But where do you stand on the Sex and the City without Samantha question? It's hard to imagine.
Yeah, because she always had the best one-liner while they were eating in the diner.
Yes. Yes.
There's every show. She's like when what's her name takes up tap dancing. She's like, "Who are you, Miss? Effin' Bojangles? Just but
right.
They're like, yeah. I don't think that. Yeah, it's all going to be strange and it's going to be different and it's going to be fabulous and it's going to be, oh, why did they do that? And oh, wow, that's so cool that they did. It's going to be all of it.
Yeah.
All of it. And it's touching on, I grew up with these women.
That's right. So and now they're how many years older?
They're all grown up. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're older. They're gray. They're talking about how she's, she doesn't look so gray in the show, but in real life, she's let it go a little bit. But in the show, of course, do what they do.
She can't help herself.
Yeah, you do a little. If you're her, you can do that. And the clothing is wacky. I wish. I don't know if my brain just left. Designer Patty. Somebody help me with the designer, but I'm not sure if she's on it, but most everyone is in the show except Samantha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen
Well,
them shooting around? Did you run into them at all in the
I
city?
didn't. Well, I've been in Manhattan so little, so
I know, but you've been in Manhattan.
I've been in Manhattan. I didn't make it in this week.
No.
Um, yeah, it was a quiet kind of week, but
What was the week of what's a quiet week of Gary Lambert? Like Succession, some writing.
yeah, didn't do much writing. Did some radio planning, and now starting to think about what the next project is. Yeah, I think we're going to get to do the dead air shows from when the guys play Mexico.
Yeah.
They
You're
just decided
going, aren't you?
I'm going the second weekend. They're
Okay.
doing 2 weekends in Mexico,
Yes,
and
thank you.
I was already set to do the second weekend, so that's going to be fun. We'll maybe actually do the show live from the beach or something like that.
So cool.
I wonder if I can fly the couch down there. That's a big,
Well,
can you get the couch through customs?
I think what my suggestion would be
Take fabric.
take the fabric,
Right.
make it, or have someone even customize. You could do like, because you have some of the fabric.
Yeah, I could be the couch.
You could lay it on top of another couch that's down
true.
there.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. There'll be couch content. Yeah.
I will be wearing Patricia Field. I couldn't think of it. I will be wearing Patricia Field clothing and accessories that I've had since those days. Gary, how about some promos for Dear Jenna when you're having a less hectic week? Oh, thank you, Julie. And Samantha is the best. Yes. They're all the best.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely all the best. So any epic food moments this week?
No. Very, very basic, very
cream of wheat and butter.
Yeah, sandwiches and tonight I had spaghetti and meatballs. That was just
that's pretty epic.
Yeah, that was good. Really, you just felt old school, so. And yeah, it's my brother's coming out on Tuesday, and we've got to deal with the house, which I don't relish, but he'll be here for a few weeks, so I think we'll probably have some epic meals between us. Maybe go out for some good meals, and
is it we're gonna to start discussing the house? Is it time to?
Oh, we got well, excavating the house is the first. We've got to get rid of tons of stuff. That'll probably take us through the winter, and then we've got to get work done on the house to prepare it to sell. And it's daunting. It's a big thing, it's emotional. It's emotionally complicated. It's logistically complicated, and unfortunately, I wish it didn't have to be done, but it has to be done. So.
And then, are you thinking anymore? Have you gotten ideas?
You mean about places?
Yeah, where you want to be? What area of the world?
I want to be as close to here as I can be. I'd be happy to stay in Queens. Or certainly within a quick commute of the city. So that's I keep an eye out. We'll see what happens there. And I did not go see Steely Dan after all. That fell through. No,
I was going to ask you about.
Yeah, my friend who I was going to go with wound up having a work commitment, and I was I was tired, and it was like Portchester alone, kind of
it's a commitment.
It's a commitment, and I just said, so I called Pete. It was going to be, it was a no comps show because it was a reserved seat show at the Cap. They actually have seats they can bring in for seated shows, and so it would have been standing room, and I just wasn't up for that night. So heard the show was killer, and
sure. I mean, what a can we get a little serious here for a minute? Just because you've been to so many concerts in your life, and you've been to festival seating concerts and on non-festival, what's your thought on what happened?
Oh, well, pinpointing the negligence is going to be hard, but it's totally shared responsibility by the promoter and the artist. I mean, the artist was the producer also.
Right.
It was Clear Channel and Travis Scott's production company. He owns the festival. The tour, the whole Astro World thing is his brand. So and then he's got this history of inciting audiences. So doesn't look good for him. Certainly doesn't look good for Clear Channel. I mean Live Nation. Excuse me.
Live Nation. I
used to
didn't
be
even know
Live
who
Nation
he
went
was.
through so many names that yeah.
I didn't know who he was. I'm like, who? Who is he?
Oh yeah, he's huge. I mean, he's one of the biggest.
Shows how much I listen to. I listen to the Grateful Dead, and I listen to jazz. And
Yeah.
James
His actual, I think his real strength, the production on his records is tremendous.
Okay.
I'm not that thrilled about the content, but he does like auto tune stuff, and he does some rapping, and it's not my thing, but the craft is good. He seems like a really charismatic performer. Unfortunately, it's like that wrong kind of I was thinking about this because obviously I've been working in concerts for
and you've done security.
Decades.
You've been. I mean, I think about that and think of all the hundreds of concerts I've been where there was no. We got there at Jazz Fest. You get there on Friday in the morning if you want to see Bonnie Raitt right in the front and you're not backstage, you camp out. And that could happen anywhere that you and I have been. And then
it's the combination. It can happen anywhere and it can be avoided anywhere. That's the thing you have to know about, that it's avoidable in any situation. I've been to like totally thrashy metal shows, which I went to kind of out of almost like anthropological curiosity, because I could, you have to check it out. And there was all kinds of crap going on, but maybe because it was BGP, it was like under control. The security is like, so, they've got eyes everywhere. And I was thinking, I'll talk about Bruce Springsteen because why not? There is no artist, there's no event that can produce more incredible audience energy than a Bruce Springsteen stadium show in New Jersey.
Amen.
I've been to a bunch of them. And you go to one of these shows and you say, oh my God, there's going to be like tens of thousands of people on the field. They have reserve seats and then they have the GA field. And you go in there and you have utter confidence that it's going to be handled, because the way they set it up, they've got the primary GA area right up against the stage. And then back as you get about halfway back to the soundboard, there's a barricade at about a 10-foot dead zone, and then the rest of the floor. And they don't oversell that primary pit. So it's crowded, but there's always elbow room. Mm-hmm. So they make that kind of crush pretty much impossible. And artists and promoters and the people who do the logistics of security for a show know how it should be done. And the people who don't care how it should be done cut corners, or they oversell the show to sell more tickets, or they just kind of don't care, and sometimes they don't care and get away with it. And this time they didn't. But it was an accident waiting to happen. I mean, some of the video was horrific. There was this young woman who shot this Instagram video, and she wrote this like sort of long form essay about she jumped up on this platform where they had cameras, and she was trying to tell the cameraman, get on your.
You see video of her going, there's someone dead down here, help it.
Yeah. And
there's this other kid that was on CNN, I think the night or two after. He's a DJ. It was unfortunately unfortunate for him. He was right there, and his Instagram, he's a DJ, and he's telling us how unsafe and how scary and how everything. My craziest crush, I was in Paris at a punk show. That was scary, but I was on the Golden Gate Bridge for the 50th anniversary.
That must have been, I wanted no part of that. I didn't go exactly because of that.
It was really scary.
And Bill Graham dropped out of doing the bridge thing because he thought the bureaucracy was going to be so bad at handling it. Yeah. Fortunately, nothing terrible happened. Yeah, but
and it was, I mean, the bridge was flat.
Right. The bow of the bridge actually flattened out. That's terrifying. So, yeah, there are so many ways that you can prevent that stuff, and of course, people are blaming rap. It isn't about rap. It's happened at metal shows. It's happened at rock shows.
Big rock shows. It's happened before, but I ask you about it. The Who, the Stampede at the Who.
Yeah. And well, see that was maybe one of the most unforgivable ones. That was total promoter indifference and greed. Well, first of all, the Who were partially to blame because it was it may have been sub-zero that night, or like, or 4 degrees or something in Cincinnati. And the Who just sort of dawdled on their sound check. So the doors were not open, it was like half an hour after the doors were supposed to open for the show, and it was general admission. So everyone really wanted to get in, and they were freezing. And then the promoter only opened 2 doors. And, you remember being at a BGP show where there was that whole, you walked between the barricades slowly and people were saying, don't run. And there was always someone to stop people from doing crazy things. Here, they just, they didn't hire enough security, so they didn't have enough doors to open. And that's why that crush happened. So that was just absolutely horrific, and there was that absurd thing in Rhode Island that, what was the band called? Great White?
The Fire?
The station in Warwick, Rhode Island, where the band set off like arena-sized pyro inside a low-ceiling club. And to compound it, the owners of the club had all these safety violations. They had oversold the place by like 100%, too many people, and they didn't. There were exits that were locked, and so yeah, it's just.
I used to think that when I play either at Larry Blake's or Cafe du Nord, which are both area places, and they're in the basement, you guys.
A little claustrophobic, yeah.
The stage. Hello, Melanie.
Hello, Melanie.
The stage was, you walked down this long flight of stairs through a bar, through another bar, and the stage was on the back.
Right. Yeah.
And then they had their exit doors chained shut. So we would be on stage, or you'd be at a Charlie show or something. You'd be there I'd be going, how am I going to get out of here if there's a fire or an earthquake right now? Or Larry Blake's, you had to walk down the stairs, make a U-turn, and get back to the stage.
Yeah.
But
another thing, when the artists, I mean, there are a lot of small clubs that are total fire traps and scary, for those reasons. But the bigger shows, the artists who do care and the promoters who are conscious, before every show, there's a meeting.
Yeah.
I remember the meeting at every BGP show where, if the artists had like a head of security, they would meet with the promoters people, and then they would go out into the lobby where all of the security people were. And they said, okay, this is how you're going to deal with this band's fans. This is how this band wants their fans treated. You are not police. You are here to help them. That was instilled, especially at BGP. And a lot of places it isn't instilled.
And as a performer, I've seen some really intense stuff from the stage. I've seen people fall. I watched a man have a stroke right in front of me, and I was singing and just went, stop the music.
Yeah.
And I pay attention to what's happening out there. I'm sure with that many thousands of people, it's more challenging, but you kind of have to know your audience too. But
you have to know and it's it's really, it comes down to common sense, and it comes down to consciousness on the part of everyone. And like, as a performer, you had those eyes and you saw that, you know.
Oh, I've
And
seen people walking up in there. I'm like, no, don't trip, and they trip
right,
right, and you can't.
right,
You got,
right, right. And you know, I've been at shows where fights broke out. You know, there's everything. You know, it's just
yeah. Melanie said, she's like, you see a lot from this stage. I've seen people get, propose. I've seen people break up. I've seen people having affairs. I've seen people, having the time of their lives. I've seen people,
mhm.
and you've seen them
Yeah,
fall, and you've seen them do this. But yeah, it's
and
it's it's a responsibility to
yeah,
to pay attention to what your audience
yeah. And
is
at
doing.
the same time, depending on your perspective, horrible things can be happening in another part of the building,
Right.
and you don't hear about it till afterwards. You know.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
uh, Suzanne said, you know, are you going to talk about Altamont? I would prefer not to, but one thing about Altamont that's really interesting, a friend of mine went to Altamont and was far up enough the hill that he couldn't hear any of the announcements,
Hmm.
and he couldn't see it. He thought he saw a great show. Yeah. He was like stoked that he saw the Stones until he woke up the next day and saw the papers, you know?
Wow. Yeah, I'd like to get Arthur Rosado on the show sometime. He photographed. He was at Altamont. He was
Yeah.
like on stage.
Yeah.
And interesting thing, he had also done Woodstock, and
Mm-hmm.
he didn't even realize it, but he shot Woodstock in color,
Mm-hmm.
and he shot Altamont in black and white.
And without even knowing it, it was exactly the right
Yeah.
way to deal with it. Yeah.
You have
Creatively.
to. I know you got to go. Everyone, and if you don't know who he is, Google him and read about him. Wavy Gravy, sending out huge, huge, huge
Yes.
love and
Yes.
energy to Wavy Gravy.
Yeah.
And
Wavy had surgery.
yeah,
He's well into his 80s. So there's fragility issues involved. And also another guy, um, Chuck Garvey, the guitar player from Mo, wonderful band from the jam band scene, had a stroke. He's a young man in the early
young.
50s. Yeah. So he's recovering. I haven't heard an update, but so send good words to those people. Yeah, it's
Yeah, Carl. Yeah, Carl. In that way, yeah, Wavy.
yeah,
Carl's been there. Carl's been in the mosh pit, been the mosh pit, done it all.
sure. Yeah.
Hey, Bill. God, we're coast to coast in a big way. Well, Gary, one question for you. Two
Mhm.
questions for you. That's okay. What are you doing next Saturday night?
I have every intention of I mean, Saturday night, really, I guess it begins when the sun sets, and you know, it goes all night. I guess it goes till dawn. So I can't account for the whole night, but there's this one particular time on a Saturday night that my intentions are pretty clear, and that would be at maybe 49 minutes before midnight, say.
You mean like this?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You mean that time? 11,
You
11.
know, it's funny how you had that intuition to know the time I was talking about. And yeah, I'm going to be on 11:11 with Jenna. Take your time, folks.
And then on Tuesday, November 23rd, I know your brother's going to be in town, but if you have any time on that day into the evening,
I'll pop by at some point.
pop by. Make sure you have a joke. Everyone is popping on.
I have jokes.
Oh, you have jokes. Good. Well, I'm waiting for that as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Love you.
I love you too.
All you people there, Suzanne, Bill, Melanie, William, Julie, Patty, who am I missing? You know, here, Mama Grace. Love to you all, Carl.
And then who knows who else is watching and who will be watching throughout the week. And then once Bill puts it up on YouTube, throngs, everyone.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Thank you, Bill.
Okay.
Do you have a letter for me?
Oh, a letter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't want to, I have to think back to, don't want to repeat myself. let's see if I can think of something that relates to. Oh, let's go with C.
Oh, see, I see you there. And Gary, I know you care. Oh, see, I know you're there. Everybody, Bill, maybe I'll do W when you come on the show. Oh, see, you are so cool, and I hope that you all stay real cool, stay safe, stay healthy, and be real nice, because that's how we do. We've got to see, so see, I want you to have caring thoughts, and I want you to have a core like words, and I hope that all of you always have a caring and no cool, and I just want to come up with one more word, but please, Gary, please help me out with a C for in the heart, and I see that you are there, and I am waiting, and Eric Darrow, have a good night. Everyone sleep tight. And I'm wondering what the C from your heart would be. Gary, please. Gary, please.
Okay.
A C.
Be conscious.
Be conscious and love hard.
Real hard.